Tableau.
To be or not to be? Thou art thou annoying question. Today we are talking about English teachers and how incredibly annoying they are. And I mean, these are some of the most incredibly annoying people you'll ever meet in your entire life. And mind you, I always liked English growing up. But these things need to be said, even if you like English. I think that we can all agree on this. First off, number one problem with English teachers is that they like Shakespeare. I get it. I get that England wants to hold on to the past. And, honestly, in the past 600 years, they don't have a lot. I mean, they had America, they had India, kind of the only thing that's left over is Shakespeare. However, let's be real, he stole half of his stories. If you read Hamlet, it's the same as like some Norse story that no one knows the name of because it's not a good story. It's just copying stuff. And, people will say, oh, well, he's the first to do it, so he's really amazing. Maybe, but he sucks. I mean, maybe he was good 500 years ago, but let's be honest, he kind of sucks. He kind of just sucks. I mean, no one wants to read, I will rephrase, nerds want to read, 1500s English. However, no normal person wants to read 1500s English. Probably even some of the teachers themselves don't want to read that crap. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Sure, the stories still hit, but this leads me to the second point. Why is it that every English teacher loves these horrible, horrible stories where everyone dies? I mean, you read Hamlet, everyone just dies. I remember I was in, I think, 8th grade, maybe 9th grade, and I'm reading this story called The Lottery. And it's like, it starts out real nice. It's a bright, blue, sunny day. Everyone's happy and they're gathering around to have this yearly event called the lottery. And, there are children running around. And the end of the story is they're drawing to see who dies. And not only that, they're trying to see who's going to get stoned to death. Okay, and the children in the story who are all happy running around like end up stoning their own mother. Why the heck are we reading this? I mean, what happened to Once Upon a Day or whatever? Like, can we make it a little clearer than that? Like, why every single book that I've read in English class, someone dies, or it's the Hunger Games personified. Like, how about we just read a book that's happy, okay? And not only this, when you're reading these books, they're incredibly annoying the entire time. Oh man, hey man, why was the color green there? I don't know, maybe he likes green, right? Like, why do we have to go so far deep into this? I mean, English teachers, and I generally like them, but it's like they're stoned. They're like the stoned people who like sit around in a corner smoking weed, just saying, yeah, man, what does the color mean? Bro, I'm 14 years old. I don't want to be talking about the color green with you. Like, sure, teach me how to write and, teach me how to critically think. But do we really need to read about children stoning their mothers and the color of the stones? Like, and what the color of the stones might mean? Like, I really don't think so. And lastly, this goes into writing. I get that they got to teach us how to write, but why are they assigning so much writing to the point where they don't even read it themselves? Like, I get it. Teachers, they got a tough job. But do we really have to assign an amount of work that's ungradable? I remember one time when I was in, I think, college, which is pretty bad. I mean, you spent $70,000 million to go to college in the United States. And I pulled off this stuff. I put the word baseball just randomly in the middle of like each paragraph because I was sure. I mean, this teacher would assign 5 pages of writing every single night. And, I was like, there's no way that, 50 students in the class, 5 pages, every week, maybe, twice a week. There's no way that she's reading it. And I wrote baseball in the center. And Oh, what do you know? She wasn't reading it, and I got an A because I had good topic sentences. Which gets me on to the last point. Have you ever noticed when you write something in history class, or you write something in another class, they're basically just looking at the information. But for some reason, with English teachers, it's all like has to be flowery. And if you're just like a clear, concise writer, which is basically what anyone wants, anyways, well, you could be a little more creative, man. Why don't you think critically? And the advice is never really like direct. It's always like, yeah, like, you should fix this, develop this more. I don't know. In my opinion, you should write to be clear and concise. You shouldn't be writing to, be flowery unless you're an author, and that's great for, the 1% of authors that are in your class. I mean, there's pretty much no one who's going to be an author in your class. And don't even get me started with their tests. I mean, don't even get me started with their tests. The entire semester, English teachers will tell you, oh man, there's no wrong answer, really, man. I mean, there's no wrong answer. And then the second test comes, oh, turns out there's a wrong answer, and I got it every single time. If you're gonna tell me there's no wrong answer, why is there a wrong answer? Like, but anyways, I don't complain without solutions. So, English teachers, listen up. I got some advice for you. One, pick a happy book. Okay? Pick a book where not everyone dies. Two, stop assigning so much writing so that, anything that you assign, you should read yourself and actually grade. And three, lay off the pot, man. I mean, lay off the pot. I mean, let's stop talking about these little details that like I mean the authors themselves. I remember the Robert Frost poem about like the roads. I mean, he wasn't even thinking what these English teachers think. So lay off the weed a bit. Let's relax. Let's read some happy stories. And English teachers, I've solved your class. We're going to create the next 5 Shakespeares who will all be better than the actual Shakespeare who we are all forced to read. Anyways, thank you for that. See you next time.